live. This is our, let's say, semifinal match, if you want to call it that. This is still between two bowlers that are in the losers bracket, or as I like to call it, the non-winners bracket. And leading off will be Mason Brantley on the left lane. And he starts out with a powerful strike. And he'll be shooting against or bowling against Mr. Frank Snodgrass. And of course, the winner of this match will then go to oppose Mr. Justin Knowles for the title. And for the winner from this match to win the title, they'll have to beat Justin in 2 matches. But we'll get to that next. That'll be following this match here. Frank is up to throw his first ball on the right lane. Comes up a little light. Leaves the 2-pin. Is up to get his spare. Nice release, straight at it. Converts it easily.
Somebody left it sitting over on the score.
Wow, that's kind of unusual. Let's see, what is Frank doing over there? He's putting more tape on his hands. From my vantage point, sometimes it's hard to see what they're doing. I have plastic sheets in front of me because of the COVID. And they kind of hide what people do. I can see the lanes clearly, but not always the bowler. And Frank's putting on the show. He's taking off his clothes. It must be hot. He took off the sweatshirt. Now we get back to bowling. Frank's up on the left lane. He's on the approach. He releases the ball, and it comes up high and leaves a real strange split. The 3-7. He goes for it. And, oh my God, I don't know how you missed that. 3 went right over there, but didn't even touch the 7. He may still be a little, let's say, out of practice since he's been sitting out a match. Now Mason is up on the right lane. He's up on lane 50, lets the ball go, and here it comes, and he blows out the rack. Mason lets the ball go in the third frame. Comes up light. Leaves the 2-10 split.
Because I looked at it the same way for months.
Justin Knowles is back in the house. He's warming up, getting ready for the final match. Mason goes up to see if he can convert the spare. Knocks out the 2, but 10-pin stands.
Holy shit, this chair moved quick.
Well, yeah, that one is kind of loose.
It moved. It was
That
like,
one,
whoa.
you got to watch that. You could fall right out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, Frank's up on lane 50 for his third frame, and he gets a strike. It's the first strike for him in this match. He made some adjustments while he was waiting, and hopefully those adjustments will work. There's been a lot of splits in these last 2 matches.
Yeah, I noticed that. I haven't been watching, but I've looked at the
Yeah.
score.
Frank throws the ball in the 4th frame, carries a strike, nice double.
I love seeing a lot of washouts too today.
Yes.
A lot. Where you look at they look at the ball, they think it's right there, and all of a sudden,
Just
it never comes up.
doesn't come up. Okay. Now Mason's up in the 4th frame. Tosses the ball out a little farther and carries. And carries. That 5-pin was the last one to get knocked down. Mason steps off temporarily, gets himself readjusted, and now he's up on the left lane to throw his shot in the 5th frame. The ball's there, and he carries. Big double, big double. Thank you. I have a what? I have to recharge, yes. The reason I say I have to recharge, the camera's not on me, but I have this nice hot dog here in front of me, which will help me get through this match and hopefully the last one. Now Frank Snodgrass, he's up in the 5th frame. Lets the ball go. Nice release. Ball comes back. Carries. And got himself a 3-banger. Match is becoming tight. Gotten so quiet in this bowling center, you can hear all the racket coming from the machines in the back there. Frank's up, releases the ball, heading towards the pocket. Got 4 in a row. Okay, now Mason's up on the right side, looking for a three-bagger himself. Lets the ball go. Oh my God. Leaves a solid 9. Mason covers it easily. Well, Mason comes back strong with the strike in the 7th frame. Gives him 125 in the 6th with the strike up. No, that's 135 in the 6th strike up. Frank lets the ball go. Frank now has a 5-bagger. Frank is taking the lead. Whatever adjustments he made there after that 2nd frame have really worked out. He's thrown 5 in a row. Right now, Frank has a 12-pin lead. Going for number 6. Ball comes back, and he carries. He's got 6 in a row. Again, this is only the first game of this 2-game match, but Mason's got to get going here because Frank has apparently found it. Mason lets the ball go, and he carries it. He needed that. He needed that to keep this match close. So now Mason's up in the 9th frame. He's on the left lane. Ball's gone its way. Oh, yeah, solid 10. Solid 10. He himself thought that should have carried. Needs to make the spare to keep it close. Ball's gone, makes it look easy, converts to 10-pin. Mason's got 174 in the 8th with the spare up in the 9th. Frank is now up in the 9th frame. Lets the ball go, carries. He's got 7 in a row. You can say he's really on a roll. Frank's up on the left lane in the 10th frame. Potentially could end up with the 267. Ball's on its way. Carries again. Wow. And I say again, whatever adjustment he made there after the second frame, it looks like it's really working. Second shot in the 10th frame coming up for Mr. Snodgrass. It's on its way. He carries again. I think he's really gotten serious about this game. Well, he leaves a 5-pin on his last shot, but he had 9 in a row going into that. So he ends up with 266. And should take at least a good lead, if not a command, depending on what Mason does here, going into the second game of this match. Mason really doesn't have much choice. He's got to strike at this point in time. That's the first ball go. Oh, he leaves a solid 10-pin. Two, three. Best Mason can finish up in this game, providing he makes the 10-pin, which he did, as a 213. Which will give Frank a 53-pin lead going into the second game. And for these kind of matches, that's a pretty substantial lead. Mason throws the last ball in the first game, and he carries for 213. So after the first game, again, we have a 53-pin lead for Mr. Frank Snodgrass. He'll be starting us off here in the second game. He's on the left lane. First ball on the way. And it didn't look anything like the last 10 that he's thrown. Kind of slowed it up a bit and came up a little high. Tough spare, but makeable. Three, 6, 7, 10. Oh, he just misses the 3. So he starts out with an open and a total of 8 pins. Mason throws his first ball, lofts it out there. Almost looked like the 7-10 was going to stand, but fortunately the 10 went down, so he's only got the 7-pin to convert. Mason at this point cannot really afford, even though Frank is open, any open frames, being that he was down 53 pins going into this match. Mason converts his spare nicely. Takes a high loft. Oh, goes in the pocket, leaves a solid 9-pin. Converts the 9-pin, but spares right now is not what he's looking for. He's looking for strikes. Mason's thrown 2 good shots and doesn't have that much to show for him other than 2 1-pin spares. Frank's up on the right side now for a second frame. Ball's on its way, coming in a little light. Leaves a bucket. I think Frank's going to have to make another adjustment like he did in that first game. This is not an easy spare. A lot of things can happen. However, he converts it very nicely. Yeah, so right now we have ourselves 2 frames in. Looks like a game of spares to this point. But for Mason, that's not good enough. He's got to strike. Ten-pin for Frank. Mason at this point has already picked up 11 pins of that deficit, but that's still not enough. He's still got to go. And he's got to have Frank help him a little bit. Frank goes for the spare, makes the 10-pin easily. Now Mason's up on the right side. Bowling in the 3rd frame. Tosses it out there, comes back strong. Almost looked like another 7-10, but fortunately for him, only the 10-pin stands. He seems a little frustrated. Shooting for a spare, nice spare. Mason throws the ball in the 4th. Oh, that hurts him. That hurts him strongly. Leaves a wide open split with the sleeper back there. That's a tough one to make. Going for it. He's trying. Oh, he makes the 2 back pins and leaves the front pin standing. But that hurt substantially. That 11 pins that he picked up, he just about gave back right here, especially if Frank strikes. Frank throws the ball in the 4th, comes back hard. Here he goes again. He's got the strike. Frank's up in the 5th. Comes back in. Well, he left a 9-pin back there. But even with that, if he converts this spare, he will have a 3-pin lead in this game. And he's already got a big lead going into this game. And he converts his spare. So that leaves Frank with a 67 in the 4th. Mason's got 64 in the 4th. So Frank actually has at least a 3-pin lead in this game, plus the 53 pins going into this game. Mason lets it go. Oh, comes up high. Leaves him a 2-pin spare. Got the 2-6. 3-6, pardon me. Got the 3-6. He converts the 3-6, but that still leaves him down by at least 3 pins in this game. He's got 64 in the 4th with the spare up, and Frank's got 67 in the 4th, the spare up. Mason is now shooting in the 6th frame. Lets the ball fly, and he carries a high hit. He needed that. Very little room for any kind of error in this case. Frank throws a shot in the 6th frame for Frank, and he leaves the 9-pin sitting up there. He's keeping Mason somewhat in this game, but in this match, he still has a very big lead. And Frank makes a spare. Frank does have a 2-pin lead in this. Yes, Frank has a 2-pin lead in this game alone. He's now up in the 7th. Lets the ball go and leaves another 9-pin. Wow. Balls are starting to. Well, who knows what the balls are doing? They're either coming up a little high or not high enough. Frank goes for his spare. Makes the spare easily. But Mason has no choice right now but to start throwing a lot of strikes. This door is almost closed here. Mason lets the ball go, comes back, gets a double. But he's got to have that and a few more to go with it. So Mason's up in the 8th frame. Lets that ball fly again. It's coming back. Oh, that's terrible. Ball just didn't come back. And he doesn't convert the spare. Well, for all intents and purposes, this match is over. Unless Frank starts throwing gutter balls, but I don't see that happening. And after Mason opens up, and they're still falling, but very makeable spare for Frank. Looks like Mason's got 138 in the 8th. And Frank will have, well, he's got 131 with possible, no. Yeah, well, if he makes the spare, which he does. $133. Yeah. Like I said before, unless Frank throws gutter balls, and even gutter balls probably won't help Mason. Frank's got this match, and he will be going on to face our tournament leader, Justin Knowles, for the title. But Frank does have to beat him twice to do that. All this match needs now is just the final scores. And if they hurry it up, I'll be able to eat my hot dog. Frank makes a spare. Mason got what, 139 up there? If Mason strikes out, the best he can have is 199. Frank's already looking at, and he's not going to strike out. Frank's looking at the 180s, the 190s, plus his 53-pin advantage. Mason put up a valiant effort. It just wasn't to be. Oh, now Mason strikes. He's looking at that like, wow, where were those before? Yes, I would. Oh, a 7-10. I guess kind of a fitting finish for this match. Okay, Mason just said he's going to bet. He bets he makes it. I like to see him make it, just to have something exciting to talk about. There he goes. Throwing it hard at the 10. It's coming down on a rack. Wait, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, just fell in front of it. Heck of an effort.
Couldn't get much closer, man.
Wound up with a 178 this game. So Franks wins this match. We have a hug and a handshake, and Frank will be moving on to bowl against Justin. It's going to be a righty versus a lefty in the last match. A two-hander versus a one-hander. You going to kill the mic?